Welcome to Odoo Live. My name is Todd Farnham, Community Manager here at Odoo San Francisco. And joining me today is resident Odoo expert and business advisor Nathan Moss. Here today to talk about what is Odoo. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks, Todd. Today we're going to discuss quite a few points, actually. First and foremost, who are we here as a company? What do we offer? Then, of course, what is Odoo? What does our software do? How can it help you guys out? Where do we stack up in the market? And then, why choose Odoo? Comparing us between traditional ERPs as well as ad hoc systems. Last but not least, if you have chosen Odoo, what's the correct path to take once you reach our company? Which edition of our software is best to look into?
Perfect. Awesome. And so his presentation should take about 20 to 30 minutes or so. And then afterward, we'll have a Q&A session. And throughout the presentation, if you have any questions, please be sure to enter them into the right in the chat box. And as always, if you liked this video or found it useful, please be sure to hit like and subscribe. If you want to find out more information on upcoming events and product releases, check us out on Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook as well. Without further ado, I'll kick it off to you, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Todd. First today, what is Odoo? Well, Odoo is us. We are a company here, a software company based here in San Francisco. And we make a business management tool that everyone from a small business to a Fortune 500 company use and can get value out of. To get a better understanding of what we do here and how we actually operate, we're made up of 7 different departments. The first one I'd like to mention is our marketing department right here. We're here with Todd today. Todd, thanks for having me again, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to be here. Our marketing team is responsible for getting all of this excellent content in front of you guys, whether it's a webinar, whether it's some documentation on how to use the system. So big thanks to them. Special thanks to Tiago, who designed the presentation today that we're going to be walking through.
Thanks, Nate.
Some other departments that we have here, I'm just going to name each of them, are partner recruiters. Our partner recruiters, they're responsible in a team that basically works with independent contractors who want to work and basically resell Odoo and handle custom implementations of our system for specifically an on-premise hosting, and we'll get into what an on-premise hosting means later on in the presentation. Also have channel account managers. Those are the guys who support the partners basically and work with the companies that they actually are advising and selling to. Also, we have a team of business advisors. That's actually my team here. We assist everyone who starts a trial of Odoo. We work directly with business owners and C-level executives with their evaluations of the software and handle product demonstrations. So basically, when you start a trial of Odoo, we'll actually be giving you a call or an email just to make sure that your trial is going smoothly and make sure you're able to find what you're looking for out of the software. We'll help determine whether or not our software is a good fit for your business. It's my goal and our team's goal, I should say, to make sure that everyone who's checking out our software has the information they need to come to a decision on whether we're a good fit or not. We can set up personalized demonstrations of the software via screen sharing meetings to show you that the software can organize the entire workflow that you're looking to organize, of course, the ones that are relevant to your own business operations. If you have any questions about what the software can do or best practices for setting up and implementing this software, how much it costs or strategies to keep the cost down, feel free to go ahead and follow the link that you see here on the screen, the odoo.com/r/Nathan. That actually will allow you to see my calendar and choose an hour of time that works best for you to have a call, maybe even spend some time doing a product demonstration on that first meeting. So you can also send me an email at nmo@odoo.com, which you can also see on screen right now. Other teams, aside from our business advisors, channel account managers, and partner recruiters, we also have an implementation team. Our implementation team is basically a team that makes sure that the applications you've chosen are set up properly. And this is specific to our cloud hosting option. And again, we'll touch more on this later on down the line. Basically, our implementation team assists by first getting your data into the system by exporting from your current system and then importing into Odoo. So making sure all of your products, all of your customers, any relevant historical data gets into the system successfully. Then, of course, configuring your applications so that configuring the applications that you and your business advisor determined would be a good fit for you guys. Also, they can use Odoo Studio to customize the system a bit for you and, of course, train you on how to use the system and maybe even use Studio as a tool for yourself. Let's see. They also work in very close contact with our technical developers, our developer team. Basically, if you need to add new logic into your database, we have a team of developers here who can further customize the system for your specific business needs. Basically, if anything is outside the scope of what Odoo has out of the box, or outside of the scope of development and customization that Odoo Studio can do, then we go to our technical development team, and they basically add custom code and new logic into the system specific to what your needs are. Here's the process for working with them, and I'll get into this a bit later. But again, basically what we'll do is we'll lay out a spec of whatever that development needs to be, and we'll pass it over to you. Make sure that you are on the same page with what we're looking to do with the system, and get your approval on that. Once the spec's laid out and approved, we then pass this to our development team, who will determine the amount of hours it will take to complete the development. And then historically, their estimates are about 93% accurate. As an example, let's say a development will take, say, 8 hours. Let's say they give us that estimate for us. Developments from there cost $5 per hour of work added to your monthly cost. So once the developments actually go live in your production database, this 8-hour development would then go ahead and add an additional $40 per month, billed from that point forward. So you're only paying for that development once you actually start using it. Again, I'll touch more on our technical development team once we get to the very end in our additions discussing Odoo SH. We also have our support team. Our support teams here at Odoo are actually worldwide. Any general question that you have about the software, if you run into any stopping points as you're setting up the software, feel free to give them a call or actually submit a ticket. Let me actually bring you over to their page really quick. You can contact them at odoo.com/help. And again, our teams are totally worldwide. We have a team in Hong Kong as well as in Belgium, as well as here in San Francisco. So you're getting 24/5 support just based on how we're covering those time zones. Basically, you can come here and submit questions. If you run into any sort of errors in your system, submitting how to reproduce those errors so that we can go in and actually solve those for you. Really nice too, if you do submit a ticket, it goes into one pipeline basically, or one pot, where any of the support guys, regardless of where they're located, can actually access and get to work on that for you. Last but not least, the last department that we have here, let me get back to my slides, is our customer success, or our senior account managers. Basically, once you've been with Odoo for a little bit under a year, you're going to get passed over to their team. They're more experienced at managing accounts and are better equipped at unblocking or basically managing the customers who have been working with Odoo for an extended period of time and are actually up and running with the system. Okay, enough about us and what we do here in our different departments that are here. Basically, what we're going to go through now is what is Odoo. Let's go ahead and dive in now. So, what is Odoo? As you can see, there's a wide scope of applications that we actually offer here, and let's take a closer look so we can see this a bit more detailed here. I could go through one by one. Yes, Odoo is a website builder. Yes, it is a sales tool. Yes, it's an operations tool. But realistically, Odoo is a modular ERP system, meaning that you get to choose the exact pieces that we offer and build a database that's specific to your business needs. Let's use an example. Let's just say the sales channels and the different types of ways you can sell a product using Odoo. Here in the website section here, we have e-commerce. Of course, selling products via a shop page on a website. Then consider in the sales tab here, we have a CRM tool. CRM can be used for an extended sales cycle management and actually following up with the customer, tracking all the communication that you're having with the customer. Then consider just our sales module. Could be used for taking a phone order, sending a quotation to a customer, actually invoicing and billing a customer. Then consider our point of sale. We have basically the ability to set up multiple cash registers in brick and mortar stores. So if you have a single store or even multiple stores, each with an inventory of their own and multiple cash registers at each store, we can manage that with our point of sale system. We also have marketplace integrations. In our extra integration side down there in the bottom right, we have eBay. Also not listed, we have Amazon as well. So if you do want to actually sell your products on those platforms, we have ways to integrate directly there and manage all the orders inside of Odoo. So there I just mentioned, let's see, 5 or 6 sales channels. And that's only scratching the surface with what we offer. Consider, how do you get your products? What is it that you're actually offering? Is it a service? Is it a product? How are we procuring this product? Do we manufacture this product? So considering the full breadth of what we offer, again, it's a full business management software, has a lot of different pieces that are fully integrated with real-time updates and speak to each other. You tell me the business needs that you have, and I'll show you a tool in Odoo that we can utilize to better organize that. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is what we offer. Again, speaking to the modularity of Odoo, a few points I want to make here. Again, you get to select the specific pieces of the software that you need to build your database. Also consider that it's fully scalable. So when we're first making that determination of, okay, what do I need? Let's make sure we have all of the functionality that's in our current systems first and foremost. We can always consider what's phase one, what is a core need that we have right now, or what is a problem that I need to solve immediately. Then consider what's something that could be phase two, maybe adding in a marketing automation tool to send automatic emails to your customers. Maybe getting our HR organized inside of a system. So considering those things, you can absolutely scale the system. The first applications that you start with, you don't have to adhere to those. Your contract can change with time. You can add and remove modules as your business needs change over time. So just considering what's the priorities list when we're coming to Odoo, what's the first thing I need to solve, then what's something that could be phase two, or what's something that I could also benefit from later on down the line once I've solved those core needs first. Okay, so that is what we offer here at Odoo. We are a modular ERP system, or a piece-by-piece business software, you could say. Okay, so why choose Odoo? Where do we stack up in the market? Let's first look at our traditional ERPs and kind of see where we stand among them. Okay, in this graph, as you can see here, as far as product scope goes, we have an offering that's very similar to a product like an SAP, an Oracle, or a NetSuite. As far as the ease of use and usability of our system, that's something that we take great pride in and something that we think is a great strength of our system compared to these other systems. So as far as seeing a similar motif as you're working through one application to the next, as far as how easy is it to use and easy to understand, how quickly can I find the information that I'm looking for. Once you understand one application in Odoo, it's very easy to move on to the next because of how they're structured and how the system works. So you will see a very high rate of usability as you're testing out our system. Another thing that you're not going to see in this graph, I just want to kind of give an example. We're much more affordable than a lot of the softwares that we compare to in this graph here. Take, for example, NetSuite. I personally was talking to a customer last week who has an 8-user account with NetSuite. The cost was somewhere around $18,000 per year. Once we actually walked through the software with a few screen sharing meetings, I was able to show him the exact functionality that he has in his current database. And I was also able to show him that I can get him 2 years for the price of 1 year in NetSuite. And that includes implementation and moving all the data from NetSuite into Odoo. So as far as the licensing costs were less than half, and you can throw in the implementation and still be less costly than one of these other systems on the market. So if you are considering and wanting to save some money, absolutely send over the requirements or the pieces of the software that you're using if you are using a traditional ERP, and we'll see how we stack up. See if any of those require any additional custom development by our technical teams, or just see if it's standard Odoo. And then from there, we can definitely save you guys a bit, put some money back in your pocket from your yearly IT spend. Okay, let's see how we compare it to ad hoc systems. Each of the systems that you can see on this screen basically manages one piece of the puzzle, maybe a few if you're using Excel and organizing a few things in your processes there. Imagine putting the features of, let's say, a Google Calendar, let's say a Excel, let's say a QuickBooks and Asana, putting all of that into one system. If you are using ad hoc systems, I challenge you, if a customer were to give you a call and ask you, what's the status of my order? Where are you going to look? Is it going to be in Excel? Is it going to be inside of QuickBooks? Is it going to be inside of Asana? Inside of Odoo, and I'm actually going to show you this really quickly. This is a free module I want to show you in Odoo that can basically show you how our apps are integrated and how it can simplify things. This is just a test database here. It has a lot of example data that's already inside. I want to show you if someone did give me a call and ask me a question, maybe I don't even know who their account manager is on our side. Maybe I don't even know what they've ordered here. All I need to know is what's your email or how can I find you inside my list of contacts. Let's go in and look at a contact that's inside this database. Once I actually click in on a customer, here's one camp to camp as an example. I can see every single thing that they're associated with inside of my Odoo database. Basically, that means I have every single client interaction right here at my fingertips via these buttons here at the top. Are they an opportunity in my CRM? Do I have a lead for them? Okay, I can click in and see who's their account manager, who's the person who should be in contact with them. Looks like it's the administrator in this database, right? I can track back and see any past orders that this person has had with me. If they had any sales, we'll be able to see here. Any invoices that are due with this person, I can go ahead and click in here. Have I purchased from there? Are they a vendor of mine that I work with? I could actually see this information here. Any live subscriptions, again, invoices, vendor bills. All you need to do is find the person, and you can see every single client interaction that you've had with this person up to this time. That's the difference with Odoo and these ad hoc systems. If you actually want to see a workflow in place of Odoo, actually next week my colleague Sebastian's going to be doing a webinar where he walks through a few of the applications and shows the different integrations between apps. So look out for that, and that's 1 week from today. Okay, so that's how we stack up between ad hoc systems as well as traditional ERPs. Let's say you are interested in Odoo. Let's figure out what edition would be the best fit for you guys. At least, what's the first step we need to take? Alrighty, so as far as editions go, we have the Community Edition, and then we have Enterprise. Enterprise, we're going to go ahead and touch on the different hosting options that are available, as well as a new feature that we have, or a new hosting option, I should say, called Odoo SH, or our dedicated cloud system. We'll touch on in just a moment. Okay, so what edition of Odoo? Let's look at Community first. With our Community, it is actually totally free. It's a fully open source system that requires to be hosted on your own servers. Again, it's totally open source, so you have access to the core code of the system. Really, the true reason we offer our Community Edition is to allow for third-party companies to build applications. And since they have access to this fully open source system, they can use that core code to build off of. These applications that I'm talking about, and I'll discuss this a bit further when we get to the Odoo SH section, these can all be found on odoo.com/apps. These are third-party applications. They can be integrations to other softwares, or they can actually just be features that are adding features to existing modules inside of Odoo. Let's take, for example, if we wanted to maybe build a website in another system, like Magento as an example, or maybe if I wanted to link directly to my Amazon account inside of Odoo. Let's see, let's go ahead and just search upon Magento and see if there's any connectors that are built here. Perfect. So we have some that have been built. Looks like this one was built by our partner named Hexcode. 19 purchases of this one. I can click in and see the features that this will add into my database. If I actually, let's see, let me reload this here. If I wanted to get a demonstration of what this app looks like, feel free to reach out to the partner to actually get a better feel for it. They will show you the system because, of course, they want to have your business as well. You, of course, can see the features that this adds in, and again, Odoo SH will discuss this a bit further, but getting to the point of why Community is offered and why we have it here as a company, it allows companies like Hexcode to come in and build off of the core code that we have in our system. Again, it's totally open source. When you do download it, it is possible that you run into a couple bugs. So I would consider the required expertise for success if you are thinking about using Odoo Community for your business. Do you have Python developers at your company, number one? Number two, do you have the required hardware? Have you hosted a ERP system before? Load balancing, reverse proxies. Consider the level of expertise that is required for success. Even those things are out of my area of expertise, to be honest with you. Let's compare this system here with our Enterprise. With Enterprise, you can let us be the experts. We have resources to either help you self-host a system or cloud host a system. And again, it's fully maintained here by us at Odoo. In some cases, in some ways, you do still have access to the core code of the system. This one is going to be fully maintained by us. We will do free bug fixes on any, if you do run into any whatsoever, via our support teams. So just a few things that come with the Enterprise side, fully maintained by us here at Odoo. Let's look at the self-hosted first. With our self-hosted offer, you're going to be implemented by a partner. So if you do need implementation services and want to host this on your own servers, we can put you in contact with a partner that is local to you. Again, this is hosted on your own server, so this does require at least an internal IT team who's going to be managing servers for you. And as far as contract options, we have yearly pricing only that is available for our self-hosted offer. One thing to note when it comes to self-hosting on Odoo, you can start with our cloud-based system and move to self-hosted, and I'll show you why in just one moment, why that would make sense. With our cloud-hosted system, you have access to our Odoo functional consultants. And again, that's our implementation team that's right across the office here in San Francisco. Our implementation team, they will basically help you set up the system by first importing your data, so bringing your data from your current systems into Odoo, whether that be your contacts or your products, or of course just configuring your workflows inside the database. You can actually see a bit more information about our implementation teams by going to Odoo Success Packs, just searching that upon Google Also, hosting is included with our cloud hosted, of course. It's fully free. You can see our SLA as well if you have any questions about the security of a hosting, as well as the guaranteed live time and things of that nature. With our cloud hosted option, we have monthly pricing that is available. Also can do yearly and get a bit of a discount there. And last but not least, we have our dedicated cloud. We'll jump into Odoo SH in just a moment. First point, let's go back to those functional consultants with our success packs. I'm going to bring you over to their page really quick. And from our pricing page, you can actually go in and see our success packs and the price that we offer here. So again, you'll just be purchasing a package of hours with our implementation team, and they'll go through the entire setup process of your database for you. So first getting your data into the system, then configuring your applications, and of course training you and the members of your team on how to use the system. This is one-on-one dedicated consulting. These hours never expire if you do not use them. They'll always exist as long as you are a customer of us and have a contract that's live with us. And as well, if you do need any custom development inside of the database, these hours can be used towards that. Our custom developments, again, are priced at $5 per hour of work added to your monthly cost. And of course, the determination of hours will be given once we have a spec laid out of whatever that development needs to be. Okay. Next point, our SLA. I'm going to bring you over to that really quickly. Odoo SLA, just going to do a Google search here. And you can see our service level agreement. And this just outlines, again, the different hosting options, where you would be hosted depending on where you are in the world, the guaranteed live time that we have, which is 99.9% in a given year. That accounts to, looks like 1.5 minutes or so per day, or 8 hours per year. And again, backups that will be stored and things of that nature. So this is just what we're guaranteeing when it comes to the cloud hosting options. Okay, monthly pricing is available, and of course you can see our pricing page if you just Google Odoo pricing or going to odoo.com/pricing-online. And again, pricing is totally modular. We're choosing the exact applications that we need to have inside of our database to get first a cost for our applications, then choosing the number of users that we need inside of the system. Let's say, as an example, we need 10. A few things I want to note that may be a little bit confusing with our pricing page. There is no multiplier between the users and applications. I'm going to add one more user, so say we move from 10 to 11 users. The price just goes up an additional $25. So again, no multiplier between the users and apps. There's no concept of this user is going to use CRM, sales, and invoicing, and this user is only going to be in accounting. What's that user going to cost me? That doesn't exist inside of Odoo. It's $25 per person to have access to the database, regardless of what they have access to. And again, no multiplier between users and apps. So choose the number of users, choose the applications, add those two together to get your total cost. Also having yearly pricing available. So right now looking at the monthly. If we actually use an annual pricing model, we currently have a 20% off discount if you wanted to pay for your first year up front. What that accounts to is about 2.5 months for free. So realistically, all you'd be doing is paying for 9.5 months and receiving 12 months basically delivered to you. Multiply that out if you wanted to do a 2-year contract or a 3-year contract. Consider what 25% would look like on a 3-year deal. You would be basically getting yourself 9 months for free just by paying up front. So of course, the amount that could be saved by making that upfront payment, definitely something to consider. Let's go ahead and look into Odoo SH. And again, this is now available. It's our dedicated cloud hosting option. Let's look at Odoo SH. Basically, what Odoo SH allows you to do, it's a developer tool for Odoo. It's something that our internal development teams will use if we need to add custom code into the system. What this also allows you to do is install any of those third-party applications into a cloud-hosted database. Before Odoo SH and our platform as a service, this was totally impossible. We would have to custom code or use APIs in order to use any sort of third-party application whatsoever. Now you can install directly inside of a cloud-hosted database. And again, our development teams will use SH if we are doing custom development inside of your system. Basically, what this allows us to do is put you on your own server. So now you have much more freedom with what to do versus using a shared server, like in our standard cloud offering, where we aren't going to allow any third-party applications to be installed that aren't basically developed and maintained by Odoo, just because we don't want to put other people at risk who would be inside of that database, or inside of that server, I should say. Okay, so that's Odoo SH in a nutshell. Again, allows for custom development directly in the system and allows for third-party apps. we can use, again, all of these features to start on the monthly option. So utilizing our implementation team via our success packs and functional consultants. Also using our dedicated cloud, Odoo SH, to do custom development and add third-party applications. And then if you need to, at the end of your entire implementation, you can make a switch over to a self-hosted version of Odoo. So if you do have your own servers, basically what it would look like is you would download your entire database file that's going to save all of the data that's been imported, also going to save all of the configurations that we've done inside the database and any custom code. So downloading that database file, then getting a self-hosted subscription up and running, and then basically importing that entire database file into that self-hosted service. So you can go ahead and use our Odoo internal services, then phase into switching over and actually hosting it yourself later on down the line. Okay. That basically concludes what I had to go through today as far as what is Odoo, what additions that we offer. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shout those out in the chat now. And thanks for joining us.
Perfect. Well, excellent job, Nate. Thanks so much for an incredible presentation, as always. No questions. So I'll just ask some kind of high-level stuff that maybe you can go into for a passerby to check out. So now one of the questions I was kind of thinking, if someone was interested in self-hosting, is there a way that they could self-host without a partner? Or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so you can self-host without a partner. Again, I would just consider the required expertise in order to get something like that done. Do you have servers, or do you have access to servers that you could then host upon? Have you set up Odoo before? Do you know how to configure your applications? I would consider those things first, and consider what's the timeline that you have for getting this all done. Do you need expert advice to get this done in a matter of months? Or do you have the time to do trial and error to set something up yourself? Or just use the resources that are available from our marketing team, like our webinars and I guess our documentation as well, to basically set up your database. So consider, do you have the expertise? What is your timeline for getting there? And yeah, of course, if you have any questions on that, feel free to reach out.
Perfect. I guess another quick question is, any quick tips for a successful implementation? If someone's thinking about going with Odoo.
If you're considering going with Odoo, I'd say some tips for implementation are lay out your priorities. What do you need to start using right now, or what is such a headache for you that you need it fixed immediately? Lay out your priorities. What's phase 1, what's phase 2, what's phase 3, and use the modularity of Odoo to your advantage. Basically, as you're working with our implementation team, say you choose a suite of applications that you want to go ahead and implement, you can start getting value out of the system basically from day one. If you need to start using the CRM right away, we can set that up for you first while we're still implementing the rest of your system. So just consider, again, lay out your priorities. Also clean up your data. Make sure that your data is going to be clean when we're importing that over, and of course our teams can help out with that. And yeah, if you understand what you need out of the system and let our teams know, we can deliver for you.
Perfect. Let me see if there's any other quick questions. Maybe two things, I guess. Would you mind talking a little bit about the Odoo community, what kind of impact that has, just kind of general value of open source, and then maybe the third-party app store? And I think that's about it.
Absolutely, yeah. So Odoo community and the value that adds for us, it allows basically us to source information and source knowledge bases that are outside of our company. So by having Odoo community, that allows us third-party app developers to see our core code and develop upon that. So if they need to make third-party applications to basically integrate to other systems, or if they're going to be adding features directly into Odoo standard applications, we can see the work that they've done and see what they're offering to their customers. And of course, we can reference what they built. We can make determinations on our own R&D processes based upon where the market's moving. What are our partners working on, and what are the most popular applications on our app store? So yeah, having Odoo community basically allows us to source knowledge from anyone who wants to get value out of Odoo by using our community. As far as our app store goes, that's where those third-party modules will land. So if a company wants to go ahead and put those on our marketplace and sell them out to other companies who are using Odoo, they have the opportunity to do so. Again, if you're using the cloud-hosted version of Odoo, it requires Odoo SH, or our platform as a service, in order to use those third-party applications inside of your database. If you are using a self-hosted version of Odoo, then that will actually require or no, that won't require SH. You can install those third-party applications directly into your self-hosted system, and most of the time you can also use them in Odoo Community as well. So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes all the questions that we have here. Nate, excellent job. Thank you so much for your time. And one thing, you guys, if you would like to schedule a meeting with Nathan, you can click on the link in the YouTube description below, or you can contact him through email at nmo@odoo.com. You guys, thank you so much for your time. As always, if you enjoyed this video, found it useful, be sure to like and subscribe, and follow us on all